First, I'm going to talk about parallel lines. Look at the set of lines on your screen and notice how they never cross. This is an indicator that these lines are parallel. Now I'm going to add pairs of dots on both sides of the line. A set on the left, a set in the center, and a set on the far right. Now, if I take my ruler and I measure the distance between each set of dots, and we'll start with the dots on the left. This measures you can see that it measures 2 inches. Now, if we move the ruler to the center, we can see that it also measures 2 inches. And if we move it to the far right, we see that this set also measures 2 inches. At each point along the line, we measured the same distance, these 2 inches. If lines like this one never cross and always measure the same distance between them at any point along the lines, this indicates that the lines are parallel. Next, we have intersecting lines. Unlike parallel lines, these lines cross. The point at which they cross, indicated by the green dot I am drawing on the screen, is called the intersection. They can cross at any point along the lines, which creates any degree of angle on each side. For example, if we drag our protractor to the set of lines and measure the angle on the right side, we can see that it measures to 125 degrees. If we measure this angle on the left side, we see that it measures to 55 degrees, clearly indicating that it can create any measure of angle. The final indicator that a set of lines is intersecting is if it creates V-shapes. If you can draw V's on each side of the set of lines, like I am drawing on the screen, this means that the lines are intersecting. Lastly, we have perpendicular lines. These lines cross just like we saw with intersecting lines. However, there is one major difference. These lines always cross to form right or 90-degree angles. If we use our protractor and drag it to our set of lines on the screen, we can measure each angle. If we start with the angle on the top right, we can see that it measures up to the 90, meaning that is a 90-degree angle. If we do the same thing on the top left, we also see that it meets at the 90. If we measure the angles on the bottom and start with the bottom right, we can see that the space between them is 90 degrees. The bottom left is also 90 degrees. If you can measure all 4 angles as 90 degrees, this means they are perpendicular. The lines are also perpendicular if you can create L shapes on each side. If you can draw L's like I am doing on the screen, on each angle, this means that the lines are in fact perpendicular.